But he said at his wedding, he's like everyone left around 11 p.m. All the old people left at like 11 p.m. and then he walked around with a bucket of Molly, and just gave it. And they said it was like, that is
fun.
That is a great, so good future wedding idea for anyone who wants to.
Don't tell my boyfriend that.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
He's like, we should get married.
Yeah. He's like, wait a minute, I've got this bucket of Molly I've been meaning to use.
That's such a good way to trick someone into proposing. It's like, I hear people doing this thing where they do cocaine and Molly when they get married. He's like, what?
He's like, excuse me? The flower girl just throws out little cocaine bags.
Maggie a message because I wanted to do that sketch about how women have specific tastes, like the ghoul thing, and Maggie goes, "I like guys with big ears."
I do.
Oh yeah.
I think it's because I like kind of like narrow, like skinnier guys. Their ears by like proportion look bigger to me. I think it's something like that. But I do. I tend to
like
go
a
for guys
big,
with big
like
ears.
just jug handle ears.
Yeah, exactly.
I like a big nose. Like I love Liam Neeson's nose.
Okay.
Like I
can see that.
I enjoy a big strong nose on a man.
Well, because I feel like the joke is always that like a guy is just a guy. So like if they have like a defining feature, I think that can sometimes be attractive. You're like, he's not just a guy; he's a guy with a big nose. Okay.
He's a guy with just big old ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like most women have something like that.
Yeah.
And guys are like, you like what?
No, exactly. And it's cute, I think, when it ends up being something that like a person's insecure about. Is you're like, no, that's what I like. You know, not always. Sometimes I'm like, no, you should be insecure about that.
Yeah. I like how no one likes you.
Yeah, I'm the only one who can see the beauty in this, and you're welcome.
I'm gonna stop. Welcome to On the Apps dating podcast. My name is Julian. I'm a stand-up comic in New York City. I'm here with
Robin Richardson. I'm married to Julian Breheny.
She always starts it that way. You have your own stuff going on.
I'm a lawyer, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
I know that you're a lawyer.
And we are here with
Maggie Naughton. I'm also a stand-up comedian in New
right.
York.
And we're gonna dive. We can get into what we're just talking about how you say you like when a man has one weird feature because otherwise he's just a dude.
Yes. And my favorite feature is big ears. I have something about big ears. They're good listeners, hopefully, and I think it's attractive.
And you like big noses because good
like
smellers.
Big noses.
Yeah.
I just like to sit on faces on the.
Okay.
You need some contours. No, I'm just kidding. I do not, and that was just a gross thing I said. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I loved it.
Robin's going to apologize.
Yes, so.
This is not a time for sexual podcasting.
It's a
okay?
bike seat situation. That's why I like that.
A lot of men die every year from face sitting, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's something you should joke about.
Like you're meant to look like a Soul Cycle bike. Just something to grip onto.
You walk in just got a bike. This is a very rude side of Maggie I haven't seen. Get her in a podcast.
It's really hot. I'm like,
It's hot in here, guys.
My favorite is I thought it was so funny. The other day we had the Tuesday show, and there was a review which I think was incorrectly given to our comedy club.
Yes.
But someone said the F slur, and they said it was one of the first two comics, which was me and Maggie.
Oh no.
And Maggie's like, Maggie's just up there, just hard, just going.
Yeah.
We reviewed the tapes. It wasn't us. I'm pretty sure it was
I'm
the pair.
pretty sure it's safe to say the two of us are the least likely. I don't even think I like curse on stage.
No,
so
no.
it would be crazy if I was like, let me try something here,
Yeah.
you guys.
You do some cute joke. You're like that? And say you like that? You're, what?
Start laughing.
It was also funny because they said that word is not a safe space, but that same club on Wednesdays does the queer show where a bunch of queer comics use that word.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I understand they're allowed to, but I was like, if you didn't like the Tuesday show, let me tell you, the Wednesday show is going to make you very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. That's a lot of people's openers. So.
But genuinely, because they're often new queer comics and they're like, I know what I'm going to do. Anyway, the whole point of the looks thing in that text I sent you is that it's so funny. Every guy's like, I love Sydney Sweeney. And then women, like men will complain, like, all women want a tall, muscular guy. Then you talk to women and they're just like, I really like a guy with one arm and two and like four. And I'm like, what? They're like, I like a ghoul. He's all pale and he skitters around. Like
my sister's literal type is like a waifish, like consumptive.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should look like a Victorian child dying of consumption.
No, I always say about my sister that she likes like a fire hydrant shaped man. Like they're always short and stocky.
Like, is that who she ends up with, or she likes that?
That's what she likes.
She likes to pee on him. I think
No,
that's
seriously, she's like, that's my property. She likes like a goofy fire hydrant, and it hasn't worked out yet, but you never know.
And you like big
know.
ears. So
Yeah.
Goofy fire hydrant and the big ears.
Yeah. We're gonna have some really good looking, nice family tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you said big ears, I'm just like on Instagram. Does Cody have big
No,
ears?
yeah.
I was like, look
If
at
you
those
look
honkers.
back at all the guys I've liked, it's not true, you know. I think my theory with like the girls and like the niche taste is like we all want to like discover that somebody's hot. So if someone's like very like classically good looking, a lot of girls are like, no, I want something a little bit different. And I don't know if that's like a
You want to be like, take off your glasses, babe.
exactly.
Oh my God,
yeah.
you're a
Wait,
diamond
so-
in the rough.
Oh my God, how
I'm
has no
taking
one
you to
seen
prom.
this? The problem is a lot of times those people, like everyone has realized that person's attractive. And so like you think you're doing this like niche thing where you're like, I like Pete Davidson. No one else would like Pete Davidson. Turns out everybody likes Pete Davidson.
That was a lot of men were very excited about that. They're like, oh, cool. I don't have to.
Yeah.
That
Pete
was
Davidson,
weird.
big ears and big nose. Yeah.
And just like,
He's our Venn diagram of hot.
Yeah.
but also just like a random mid body just covered in tattoos, and everyone's like into it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Whereas I think men are like, we don't want to have to work for it. We want them to know they're hot immediately.
No, and I think men care a little bit more if, and I could be wrong about this, but if their friends think their partner's
Yeah.
hot. I think
That's
girls
true.
don't care as much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Girls don't care at all.
Their friends will actively being like, hey, he's disgusting. And
Yeah.
we're like, but he has one joke that's very funny. I'm in for life.
You don't get it. No
Men
one
have so
understands.
coalesced
No.
on the type of hot. Every man had the same Jessica Alba poster growing up.
Yeah.
Have you seen that poster?
Yes,
it was,
100%.
it was literally everywhere. And it was, I don't know who handed those out at every college, but for some reason we all have the exact same Jessica
Yeah.
Alba poster.
I also think men, like, a lot of times it's just markers for femininity. So Julian, like, when I have my hair long and down, he's like, you just look so good today. I'm like, it's just my hair. It's literally
yeah.
it's just this. It's just your lizard brain going, look at that fertile lady.
Yeah, no, seriously.
She's probably healthy and feminine.
My lizard brain is off the mark.
Very off the mark. No, but or like big boobs, and like they won't even see her face.
No, exactly.
Like the
Wait,
face.
who's nearby? Who's that?
Yeah, like you just don't even see, or you'll be like, sometimes Julian will point somebody out, and I'll be like, I think it's just you're just seeing hair.
Yeah, she's blonde.
Yeah,
And
you're
like,
just
Well,
seeing
there is
hair
a thing,
from
yeah,
far.
when it's a girl with like a reasonable thin build, long blonde hair. From a distance, you're like, that's a 10 out of 10.
That's the hottest girl I've ever seen. Yeah.
And
And if
yeah,
she's got two friends who also have long hair,
Oh, yeah.
done.
it's a cheerleader effect. That's what it,
Explain that to us.
well, it's not for me, but it's the idea. It's like you see a group of cheerleaders, you're like, oh, they're all beautiful, and then individually they're like normal looking girls, but as a
Right.
group, you're like,
As a
oh, all of
team.
them.
It's a status thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's also that theory that like good-looking women tend to hang out with other good-looking women. Like they like travel in
And
packs.
as like seating
Like
at
the
Greenwich and
Pussycat
stuff.
Dolls.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
it's so
They're
true.
contractually obligated
But
to dance together.
But that sounds so much better than you saying the reverse of that. I've been like, ugly girls be in packs. If you like said that, you're like, what? But when seating at Greenwich, it's so true. It's just like people come in and I'm like, oh, you guys are a group? It's like, yes. I'm almost always correct. I'm like, are you five hotties a group? It's like, yeah. Whereas guys will have a complete mix of hotness.
True.
Yeah.
I have tried to make a joke about this so many times that I don't, not that like girls I think choose their friends necessarily because of attractiveness level, but I don't know what the criteria is for male friendship. Like
It's nothing.
It makes no sense. I'm like,
Yeah, you did have but what was that we
I love this joke of yours, and I've seen you do it twice, and it didn't get laughs either time.
no, it had to be put in the graveyard. But I like girls will have like so much lore behind their friendship, and like they've like helped each other like through their parents' divorce or whatever. And it's like there's like even if their friend is like not like is flawed, right? Because we all are.
Sure.
It makes sense because girls are like, yeah, but she's my girl. You know what I mean? And men, you ask them why they're friends with one another, and he's like, Kyle farted in a jar when we were 12, and now we're friends for life. Like, it makes no sense.
But it is true.
Wait,
Yeah.
do you have Kyle's Insta? He sounds like a chill dude.
Exactly.
No, it is true. Male friendships require no upkeep, so
No.
you can just move on from that. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, the prerequisite. It's interesting when you say that women who look like attractive women will hang out together. I don't know. I don't think you pick it for that reason, but it is funny how it just.
It does. It just kind of happens, but I don't. I would like to think that girls don't like actively go out of her way of like, well, she's ugly, so I'm not gonna be friends with her. I hope there's other factors.
But it's also, I guess, if you're into fitness and they're into, I don't know, maybe like a
Yeah.
lifestyle slightly. Maybe people find there's like uncomfortable situations where, because I think women are more immediately judged on their looks. So it's like maybe you're going around and that maybe if they were the less attractive one of the group, they'd feel judged. I don't know.
True. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Anywho, well, we'll solve that later.
Yeah.
I want to dive into one of your responses to the. Thank you for we're trying out a new form, and thank you for filling that out. It may be too long.
I'm so curious about that. Okay, so you had the only one that I remember. Julian was reading these off to me as I was putting on my makeup, and he's like, Maggie matched with a basketball player who showed her a dick pic like immediately.
So it was basically he was like this basketball player at my college.
So he's a college basketball player.
Exactly.
That was my first question. What level are we talking?
I don't think he ever made it to the NBA. So
and you were
What
also
a
in this
loser.
college. Yeah, gross.
Is this Div 1?
Yuck.
It was D1. I went to Madison, Wisconsin, and he was like, he had a dick pic that like everyone had seen, and it was just like in these.
Was it good?
It was actually like I was like, sir, like have a little self-respect.
Like a bad dick or a bad composed photo?
It was like, I'm trying to remember the details of it, but like it was soft, which was like a weird choice.
Completely soft?
Such a weird choice.
And it was kind of like coming out of his like sweatpants and like this like really
so
sad
it was like
way.
a joke. It was like a joke picture that he's like what he said to a boy or something.
Exactly.
And then
like,
it got
I don't know
sent around.
Yeah, I hope it was sent. I don't know who.
Cody
he was
sends
to
me
attract.
joke dick pics all the
Yeah, exactly.
time.
I'm like, I don't know what the context would be where you would send it out. It was like not his best, and I was letting one of my guy friends like swipe through on my Hinge one day or my whatever it was at the time, probably Tinder, and he's like, oh, you matched with this basketball player, like let's message him. And I was like, okay. And so he messages him being like, I've seen your dick pic, which is not like the nicest way to start a conversation, to be fair. But then the guy responds with, well, yeah, you're not hot enough to see it in person.
To see your flaccid sweatpants dick in person.
Yeah. And I think because of that interaction, he didn't make it to the NBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bad personality, bad skills.
Maggie went and broke his kneecaps.
I said, you know what? Oh, I'll see it in person.
I mean,
I will find a way.
oh, Cody, we're still together, but I gotta see this dick. It's not related. I gotta see. No,
Doesn't live up to the non-hype, okay?
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
he's going low expectations. You
that's
know?
aw-
Soft dick pic is insane.
It was crazy.
I don't let Robin see my penis soft. Okay?
Yeah.
No one-
And I think that's wise, okay?
my doctor's like, please, just make it soft. I'm like, no, you will analyze it erect.
I need
No
it
one
in its
sees-
best form to know if I have testicular cancer, okay?
No one sees it soft. Although it was mean, that is a pretty funny burn.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was like, I'll give it to you. He had a bad personality, but I was like, he was funny. He was mean. But...
Sounds like a bad personality. I
Yeah.
just like. Okay, that's it's slightly different than what I thought the story was going to be.
It wasn't like he was just like, what do you think about this? And
Yeah,
then
and
you'll
But also,
never see it in
if
person.
I sent,
Yeah.
if you had a nude that got floated around campus and I matched you was like, I've seen your nude, you'd be like, fuck this guy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he was justified in being mean and responsive. It was funny. I was like, I'll give it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. So it's a but if you matched, oh well, no, I guess then you sent a rude. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
To be clear,
Robin-
it wasn't me who sent it. I would never start it off that
No,
way.
you're a
Being
very
like,
sweet
seen your
lady.
nude.
Robin would, Maggie says, I will see your erect penis.
Yeah,
I
of
will
course.
see it.
Yeah. I just responded, I look forward to seeing your erect penis, and then he didn't like it.
Did you actually?
No.
Or did you say anything back?
I think I unmatched him because my feelings were hurt, I think.
Okay, fair.
Yeah,
you were a
rude.
comedian
It's
then,
so
so
Yeah,
rude.
no, I didn't know how to fire
Like,
back.
I'm going to turn this into a joke
Well, I also,
someday.
because I was sitting next to my friend who had sent the original message, and he was like, oh. It's like not what
Oh,
I thought was
sorry.
gonna happen. And I was
Sorry.
like, yeah, what do you think was going to happen?
they were like, oh, I think
like,
I
oh,
cooked
no.
this.
Yeah. I think
You're going to get bullied now. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
He didn't like
I'm
that at
children
all.
with a 6'2" basketball player, unfortunately.
6'2", he was never making the league.
6'2".
No, he was the point guard, and it was so crazy because
Oh, of
in
course his
person
penis was
he
soft.
was actually exactly. What a simp.
What were you saying in person?
Well, it was funny because like when you would go watch the games or see it on TV, he looked so small, and then you would meet him in person. He was actually like a very like tall, good-looking guy, but like because he was the point guard, like he looked like a child on TV.
Steph Curry is like almost my height, and
Yeah.
and he's like, people think he's like small. He's like 6'4".
No,
like
right.
nuts.
He's not small at all, but
We have a lot in common, me and Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Actually, we're similarly matched basketball players.
Yeah, you have a very beautiful wife.
true. Lucky you both.
who's liked much more than you are. And no.
Actually, you might be. I don't know if she is liked more than
Yeah, I
Steph
guess
Curry. Steph Curry is pretty.
I
much
actually
liked.
exhausted my Steph Curry knowledge right there, so I had to end the joke.
I had to believe you because I was like, actually, I feel like, and maybe people really like to hate on professional athletes' wives. Like, what's her name? Like Brittany.
the one who's like somewhat Republican leaning. Is everyone's Mahomes, Brittany Mahomes.
Brittany Mahomes. Yeah.
I think that was just because she was like a Trump stan.
Yeah, which I'm like valid, but I know more about her than her husband because of like all the hate she gets. So
I have to imagine every interaction I've had with anyone who plays it at some sort of that level, they're all cheating on their wives.
That's the assumption.
Like nonstop,
right?
and whether it's a handshake agreement or not, they're all just getting cheated on. And these hockey players and basketball players, they come into town.
I don't think Steph Curry is cheating on his wife, though.
I don't think. Yeah, he might be okay.
He might be good.
Steph Curry's okay.
Yeah,
we've decided.
Mark's safe from cheating.
Have you seen his dick pic? Or
I have not, unfortunately.
He'd have a great dick pic. Okay, that guy doesn't miss. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I feel like Brett Favre's dick pic really like ruined dick pics for me, or like ruined like the. You shouldn't actually. You shouldn't see it. Brett Favre. Because he was when I was growing up, he was like a handsome man, and he was like so famous and so manly and cool, and then. His dick looks like a thumb with no nail, and it's. I think his hand might be in the picture, which does his dick no services.
Oh, he's like trying to add context, and it's like.
And you're like, take your giant mitt away.
Yeah. You didn't touch those.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
They were slippery, weirdly.
Look how big it is just on my finger. I'm like, we're not falling for the illusion. Oh, it's so big.
It's so big.
How many hands? Like a horse, you have to measure it. It's 6 hands is my penis.
But it's a. I don't remember what I was saying.
You were saying Brett Favre's penis. We can get back to the point.
Oh yeah, Brett Favre's dick pic, and it ruined. Like I was like, it was instantly no longer attractive to me. It wasn't the cheating thing, or like just like how gross and weird it is to send like an underling or like somebody who works at the stadium or something or for the team a picture of your dick. But it was just like it was like. I was concerned for his like wellness because like if I took a picture of any part of my body and it looked like that, I would delete it immediately and I'd probably go to a doctor.
Well, that's what I wonder too, because I feel like girls are so like specific about nudes and like they're like, I'm gonna get all the angles, I'm gonna like wear like the outfit that I want, whatever, or lack thereof.
The lighting,
exactly,
lighting very important.
And I'm like, are guys just firing these off like soft dick?
Well, okay, first of all, you got to send them. You wouldn't do fully soft. If you're gonna do soft, what you would do is you do one which is like you get it as you try and make it look bigger and act like it's not.
Yeah, you gotta fluff it up.
You fluff it up.
Fluff it up.
But on the point of dick pics, I think guys are bad at making pics look good, and girls put a lot more effort in. But I think some girls are better. Less good at understanding men's insecurities. I had never sent a dick pic in my life because I was always told they were bad.
Yeah.
And not specifically mine, but they were bad to send. And then a girl requested one. And I was like, all right, I tried a bit. And I tried like maybe a bold angle. And she responded, was like, I don't like that. And I was like, if I responded to one of your fucking nudes with anything but immediate praise, if I left you on red for 10 minutes on a nude, you would kill yourself.
To be fair, Julian, you probably shouldn't have taken it from your butthole.
I did it like the rising.
Hole and balls.
I did it
like a little bit of stem.
You know when you see the Earth coming up from the moon? That's just and I was actually had a little soundtrack.
You like really put yourself out there, like do something creative, and they're like, I don't like that.
Did she say what she didn't like about it?
Did she give additional constructive feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't. It was not a compliment sandwich. She didn't say, first of all, the penis is great. Let me say right off the bat, that's great. Let's talk angles. She just said, I don't like that. And I was like, she's like, send another one. I was like, no.
I'm traumatized.
She's like, ew, gross.
And like, we'd been dating for a bit, but if that was like early on, I would think it was just a bit to be like, send me a pic. Haha, gross penis, gross penis.
I've actually sent it in the group chat. We're all
laughing. We're all pointing.
We're in the situation room right now, just discussing it. It's on the wall.
That is my nightmare.
That is crazy. Ooh, I don't like
that.
But I was like, I'm like, she requested it? Oh, wrong text.
This might be like prudish of me, but I think the best dick pics are when like if a guy's wearing like soft pants or soft shorts of some sort and they have a hard dick and then they're just grabbing it, like you don't see anything. You see an outline, you see a suggestion. It's a little bit of a tease. It's like male lingerie.
No, I completely agree.
So Robin told me this the other day, and I kind of did it. She's like, "You're ruining it." I was like, "You mean like this?" She's like, "No, you know what? Just stop."
Again, because it was your butthole and balls.
But it wasn't even a picture. I was in front of you, like, no, you know what? Forget about it.
Ew. Yeah.
You need to have a good penis for this to work.
No, I've tried to explain things to Cody that I like, and he'll like really put his best effort in, and I'm like, I actually don't think I like it.
Yeah.
You've actually ruined a fantasy
like,
for me.
it's you.
Well, you talk about having strong breaks to like sex and been turned on, and like you'll have this ideal thing, and the smallest thing's out of place, and you're like, now I hate it.
Oh, it's so mental. Yeah,
It's so mental.
100%.
Like I can't come now because there's a stain on the bottom left side of the kitchen door.
The worst is like a smell. Like you catch a smell and you're like, "Where's that? Is that you? Is it me? Is it the house? Where's the smell coming from?" And that's no
When
good.
we get it, it's kind of hard to have sex when you got 5 cats, and one would 10 grand.
I can imagine.
They just like jump on the bed. They're like, "What's up?
No, they're
You having fun?"
they're evaluating.
And then it's like,
They have
So,
their little
They're also
clipboard.
like, I don't like that.
I do not like.
Exactly. It is a little bit hard to like have sex while a cat is judging you.
Oh, I can, because I feel like cats are the most judgmental
Oh, yeah.
animals.
They're like figuring
They're
it
like-
out.
Yeah.
Roman used to say sex with a guy was bad if the cat would stay on the bed.
Oh yeah.
Because it meant that he wasn't
But
moving
yeah,
up.
I think that's
so funny.
The cat's
embarrassing.
like, this is fine.
That's a really good barometer.
If your cat will just nap on your
Yeah.
bed while you're having sex, like you're not doing
This
it
will be
right.
done soon.
You
I
just-
can just
the
chill.
cat's on my back. Just I'm just going.
This is actually very relaxing for me.
Yeah.
The slowness and the gentleness of this motion. It's
Just
very,
putting the cat to sleep. I have all 5 cats on my
very
back.
calming. Yeah.
It's a family affair.
Anyway. What was the other response? I could put them up here, but when I asked what your day, men don't understand what casual means.
Yes, I have like really
I
strong
agree with
opinions about this. Okay, because I think the cliche is that like men and women can't do casual relationships because women catch feelings and then we can't do casual. But I really think it's that men don't understand what casual relationships are.
Yep.
Because in my head, a casual relationship is 2 people hook up, you shake hands, you leave. The only time you're texting is to kind of coordinate when you're going to hook up.
Yeah, maybe
Problem is-
occasionally like inside jokes if you guys
Right.
have those.
But even that feels intimate, and I feel like every time, maybe I'm like the ugliest girl in the world, but every
No.
time a guy gets me
You're
alone, he's like, he doesn't want to hook up with me. He wants to like talk about his mom. He wants to talk about like his parents' divorce. And so every time they're like sharing these intimate details, they're trauma dumping on you. They're planning this like trip to the Hamptons, and so girls start to be like, I guess this isn't casual because he just really confided in me. He like wants to make all these plans.
It's so gaslighting.
It's crazy.
I
And
agree
then
with
you
you
bring
so
it up.
hard.
You bring it up and you're like, oh, are we in a relationship? Like this feels like a date. And they're like,
And they're like, why
What
are
do
you
you
being
mean?
weird? I just introduced you to my mom and my brother and my aunt and my 3 cousins.
I just cried in your arms. What do you mean
Yeah.
this isn't casual?
You've been doing emotional labor for me for the last 6 months, and I
Exactly.
keep some of my stuff here just because, and you're crazy.
I love your guy voice, by the way.
Yeah,
It's very
exactly.
good.
Are you turned on?
I'm almost soft. Keep going. I do agree, and that's something I do think men will like, and I've made this mistake in the past as well. It's like I said this. It's like, yeah, but you were doing this,
Right.
And then we'll like legally we'll fall back on what the contract says, and it's
No,
like, but you were
100%.
doing that. Although I don't really, I feel like I hear a lot of women say that, and there's a whole secret world of these men like trauma dumping and crying and using women. And I don't think I've done that with you. Maybe not.
Well, you're married. I hope
Yeah.
you share.
But I mean like when we
Yeah.
started, but when we started dating, like
No,
I don't-
no,
Oh,
you didn't.
right.
but you complain. You were like, one of the things you liked. You're like, oh no, you actually we're doing the casual thing. It's working, initially at least. And you'd be like, so many guys would come over and just. I didn't know this whole world of these guys coming over and just not fucking you, and just talking and talking.
Oh, so many girlfriends of mine are like, I've learned so many like deep personal things about him, and we've like made out a couple times. So you think it's headed for a relationship because the thing that like women are always told is like, at the end of the day, a guy just wants to have sex with you. Like he's always looking for that. So when they don't and they want these emotional connections, you're like, okay, he's in love with me. And it turns out he just doesn't have a friend.
Yeah,
he
he
doesn't
has
know
no
what to
friends,
talk to.
yeah.
It always comes back to what do they talk about?
Well, yeah, because you kind of women is better at listening, I guess. Or you will.
Yeah.
You will not shut them down and be like, bro, shut up, it's gay.
Right.
Just
And,
say
like,
that in the future.
I think I'm gonna try that.
That stuff is like the stuff that like that's the foundation of female friendships.
Right,
Like that's like
exactly.
closeness where you're like, I'm learning about your childhood, I'm learning about all these things that trigger you, I'm learning about how you work and why you're like this. And also while that's happening, I'm starting to like get sympathy for you for all your
Exactly.
little bad behaviors.
You feel
now
close,
yeah, you're like, oh, I know he's shitty in this way, but I know why.
Right.
It's because of his mom. He told me all about it.
We think that casual means only the physical and not the emotional, and men have a hard time not including the emotional in it. And then once the emotions are in, it's hard to be like, oh, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
This can't be casual, you know?
Yeah, so they're like doing the emotions, but it's not really in a connection way. It's like, I'm just getting my emotional value out of this.
Yeah.
I think there's another way that men don't know how to do casual, and it's like some of them, they think they go too far in the other direction, where they're like, oh, this is casual, so like there's no respect here.
Yes.
There's no bon ami. There's no like friendship.
What's bon ami?
I don't know. It's French.
Sorry, I didn't mean
I was just not like active listening. Like,
I know what bon is, and I know what ami is.
French. It's French for shut the fuck up.
Look, they have no
follow-up.
They have no croissant. They have no pastry.
No, je ne sais quoi. No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to out you.
She doesn't speak French.
This is not a French podcast. I have to go.
Get out of
Je
here.
suis désolé.
Yeah. I'm like laissez-faire.
If you could just go on sans the French, that would be great.
Okay, yeah. So and then they're like, it's rude, it's cold, it's like it's like only sex, and I feel like there can be like sex, and then you're like, oh, you want to like hang out,
Yeah.
and or I don't know, yeah. I just feel like there's no just like in between where you can be casual and kind to each other.
A middle ground. Yeah.
Yes, where you're just like, oh, you're like, I'll treat you the same way I would treat a coworker.
Well, and okay, this is like not related, but it's kind of related. People are always trying to make women act more like men in the workplace and like take out exclamation points and don't say I feel like and stuff like that. No, I think men need to add exclamation points. I want an email
an
that
emoji.
sounds nice, okay? It's the weirdest thing to me that we all have to be like more rude in the workplace to get things done.
Yeah.
It's not related, but I just always think
No,
about
but
that.
I agree with
do
you.
think that we just need to come together.
Yes.
I think I've always been told I'm always too much on the women's side of exclamation marks, and I would always say I feel, and my boss is like, listen, you're not coming off like a credible expert.
Right.
But then I do think I get messages from other people, and I've been told by other men I work with on old jobs who'd be like, well, why is everyone so nice to you and they like you? It's like, yeah, well, look at my email.
Right.
And look at your email. You were like, I need this by 5. And I'm like, I do need it by 5. I'm like, but my email was like, hey, hope you're having a
When
great
you
day.
chance.
I love that. But 5 of, yeah, and it's like the information is conveyed, but you feel respected and it's
Right.
fine. But yeah, but I do go back and I'm like, okay, this is too many exclamations. This is
So
No,
let's
I
bring
go back and edit,
exclamation
but-
points to dating casually.
Yes,
we
that's what
need
I'm
the
saying.
friendly, like it doesn't have, you don't, and stop asking me to go to functions.
Right. Don't. Oh my God. Yeah. They're always like, I need a wedding date. I'm sorry. Then I'm your girlfriend.
Then get a girlfriend. Yeah, yeah, 100%. If I'm
If we're
gonna
watching
meet your,
two people form a union, we're in a union.
also
Yeah,
it's like I think
100%.
weddings fucking suck when it's not your friend's wedding.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Like so
Oh
like
my
if
God.
I don't like going to Robin's friend's wedding and I go because I'm compelled by law
Oh,
that she
100%.
wrote. But so it's like I would only want to go to a wedding that I don't know if I'm single and I can meet someone and
Yeah,
hook
yeah.
up. But that's
100%.
taken away.
No, exactly. I'm hired help if I'm going to your friend's wedding.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's insane. I've never really
It's also
considered
so
how much shit that
expensive.
is.
Like you have to buy a dress, you
Oh
gotta
my
get shoes,
God.
you gotta get your spray tan or whatever it is you do.
Split the hotel.
Split
all
the
that
hotel.
stuff.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! And
Oh, if you invite
if you invite somebody who's not your girlfriend and you're asking her to split a hotel,
Jail.
no, yeah, jail
Jail.
that would
immediately.
be nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
No, you
Yeah,
do
I
it
guess
and you pay your half and then you fuck someone else at the wedding.
Right.
You go.
Exactly.
Oh my, that's me ruining a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna find a way to make this wedding about myself.
I'm gonna ask him to marry me right there,
Yeah.
right during the vows.
Oh my God, that would be so good. Well, it's a little less good. Yeah.
I love that.
Oh my God, that goes
you don't know
crazy.
any. You don't know any of those people.
That goes crazy, and you're like, he made me split the room.
Yeah. And then they're like, actually, let's hear her out.
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
He said it's casual and made me split the fucking hotel
Yeah,
room.
wedding date would suck.
I already
yeah.
paid for my my airfare. Oh,
Yeah, that would be insane.
Whole
When we
weekend
do
gone.
wedding stuff, I think we've done like, when we went to your friend's wedding, you'd pay for the gift and things like that.
Oh yeah, that's what I've done. Because at this point, we've only gone to my friends' weddings, and I always pay for the gift just because I feel like.
What do you think? I would be okay with not inviting the partner to the friend's wedding. What do you think of that? And Robin believes everyone should have a plus
I
one,
have,
even if
I
they're
have
single.
strong feelings about it.
No, I was in a wedding recently, and I was a bridesmaid and didn't get a +1, which was like kind of bizarre.
That's fucked.
But
Yeah.
I
Though
personally like it though.
I do think that because you're a bridesmaid, like if you brought somebody, they would have to sit by themselves the whole time anyway.
It's a weird thing because
Yeah.
you are asking them to kind of like hang by themselves
Yeah.
for most of the day.
That's a shit gig.
And then you're sitting
Yeah.
there with, and like you don't know any as the guy. You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
You're just like-
you're talking
yeah.
to the other like
Hey,
bridesmaid boyfriends
and
or
then-
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna make the most shitty. I don't know what the female equivalent.
if
of
you,
the,
if they're sat with them.
No, that's true too. They may
Yeah.
not even be.
you do
Yeah.
surface level guy chat. It's like, hey, the Knicks.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you might become drunk best friends by the end of the night, but you might also just stay at that boring level.
No,
Yeah.
I think most weddings kind of
I shouldn't
suck.
have brought these.
Or like they're
I'm so distracting. I can't stop.
for people who are listening, we are playing with these dumb little hands. But no, I just think weddings they can be awkward, you know, as a guest in a wedding, and I just think it doesn't really matter. Like you should be able to bring a sidekick. It doesn't matter what their status is in your life.
I need somebody.
It's not their
to,
business.
I agree with that. Plus one's welcome.
Yeah, I just, and if you can't give everybody a +1, then you just go elope. Or only have your family there or whatever. But it just seems weird to me to like be like, you can come but only by yourself.
I mean, that's just not part
only
of it.
alone.
Don't agree with Robin. She's
only
highlighting
come
the
alone.
pure sanctity.
You gotta come and make small talk with my aunt.
Where does it stop when I'm at my job? I'm like, what do you mean I can't bring my wife to my workplace?
We're starting.
If it's a wedding where all my friends are at and you don't know any of them, like I like having you there, but if you're not there, it's the same.
Well, then you just don't bring your +1, but you should have the option. You should
I was
have
more talking about not in terms of the invite you give them, but whether or not you personally would be okay. Like if you were going to a wedding with your friends who I didn't know, I'd be happy not to go.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we got
I'd
that
be
settled
happy for you not to
on
I
camera.
also think too, I'm trying to think like if you're single and you don't get a +1, I think that can feel worse.
Yeah, it's shitty.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're not dating anybody.
And then you also have to like.
Hey, virgin.
Yeah, no, kind of.
We got a virgin table over here for the
Hey, a
losers.
bunch of freaks are sitting at this table. You want to sit with them?
And you have to make judgments about how serious people's relationships are.
Right, that feels weird. Like people, that whole like no ring, no bring thing is so intense.
It's so intense, especially since now people are having more and more people are having having marriages or having long-term relationships that don't end in marriage.
Right, yeah.
They're like, we're just gonna have kids and not get the government involved.
Yeah.
Or like if you before gay marriage was legal, which is like way before your time, but like I just think that it's just weird to like to like I don't know, make judgments about, and it causes so many problems. Like I just like love Reddit, and the Bridezilla Reddits are so satisfying and insane. And that like so often it'll be something like that where it's just like, my friend is not allowing me to bring my fiance, and it's just like, why would you do that? Why would you like?
Weddings are so complicated because they've become so expensive, and I would like to say I'm not gonna have a wedding until I can have the type of wedding I want, like financially or whatever. But
like, we'll just never get married.
Yeah,
no, they're so expensive. They're like
crazy,
dozens of grands of dollars.
Yeah, it's so nuts.
Well, and that's even like when you give a fake funny estimate, everyone's like, that's actually a cheap wedding.
Yeah, really.
When you're like, what are you gonna spend 10 grand? It's like, it's much more than that.
If only, yeah. That's like it's crazy how expensive it is, and
we've normalized it because there's no other event. Like you have your 21st party or a 30th. If your friend was having a 30th and was like, I'm spending 40 grand on my 30th, I'd be like, okay, diva.
Like,
I'd be like, you're out of your mind.
Out of your mind.
Yeah.
I just, and the things that they like mark up, and I don't know, I think there's something that's like a little offensive about weddings to me in this economy. Like everybody's struggling.
You're gonna propose to me in this economy? That's a good return.
No, but I like like you go to these venues and they're like, oh, I'm gonna have a birthday party, and they're like, okay, it's this much, and you're like, just kidding, it's a wedding, and they're like, actually, it's double that.
But where I do agree with that to some extent, I was talking to John, John with the camera, and he was just saying that like when you do a wedding, it's technically the same amount of photos, but like they're so much more
insane
and
about
like 12 months in advance they're bugging you, and like he just knows from experience like the hassle and the intensity is going to be times 10, so he's going to charge times 10.
Yeah, gotcha.
And he did ours for like a rate of a normal night, because it basically says like, don't plan anything, just turn up,
just show up,
shoot photos for 2 hours and then leave.
We're gonna look good, John. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was fantastic.
He was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, we tried. I don't know, the idea of just like spending that much money on one night. I'm like, you could put a down payment on a house, you could buy a car.
Oh yeah.
You could afford a kid.
We sold tickets to our wedding. Our wedding was hell yeah. So
you made a profit.
We made a little profit. I mean, we lost on other stuff. I think the New York one we did was like $5,000. I think we put $3,000 behind a bar.
That makes sense. Then we had a dinner and a
and then we had the rehearsal dinner.
We had a dress and a suit or something.
Yeah,
I would love to do that. Like I would love to do like a courthouse wedding and then like a big party. I think that would be really
we were gonna
nice.
do a courthouse wedding.
Yeah, what happened with that? So we went to the courthouse. It was Robin thought it was so romantic because it was right in that part of town where you work, and it's all the big buildings. Yeah. We get there.
I still think it's like quintessential New York. Like get a courthouse.
And we go to these photos around there, and then we go in to actually do the wedding, and someone who shall remain Robin forgot her ID.
No, I would do that.
I was like, can we do it anyway? They're like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I swear my name's Robin.
God, you guys have been such knocks.
Yeah.
And then, thank God though. Do you know Maria? I say her name Dakota. She's a comic. She's now in LA. But I didn't know her as a comic, but we booked her to be like literally a fake celebrant because we were going to do a ceremony for my mum to watch. It wasn't going to be meaning anything. And I texted her an hour before. I was like, "Hey, can you also do it for real, like legally?" And she's like, "Yeah."
That's awesome.
And so luckily, I was like, so we could get married.
So I planned it perfectly.
I'll tell you what. Not that we have a fight, but if I'd forgotten that idea, you would have been like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Yeah, so actually, it's off.
Wedding off. Tell your parents you've been dumped.
Yeah, seriously.
Hope they have a nice trip back to Australia.
Left at the non-altar.
It is cute though if you do it. They have a little area to take photos and stuff. It's kind of nice.
Really?
And then you have, I think it's John was going to be our witness.
Yeah, he was gonna. Our photographer. I think that's what people normally do because you're only allowed to have one witness at the courthouse, and I think that most people make it the photographer so that no parents can get mad.
Oh, yeah.
Be like, none of you guys can come in.
Yeah.
My mum also got COVID and couldn't come to our big Melbourne wedding, which is the main one.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
She didn't seem very broken up about it.
She really wasn't. She was like, all right.
She's
like, that's fine.
It's COVID.
We FaceTimed her in and she was like, what? Now? Guys, I'm busy.
I'm
Call me back.
Yes, one of my shows.
My
They're about to
programs.
catch the Midsummer Murder.
Yeah. My hot take about weddings is that I think if you're getting married, in theory, you're getting the greatest gift, which is like connection or whatever. Why does everyone else have to buy you a gift? You know what I mean? Like us single losers. Why?
Oh, that's our broke.
Yeah.
Our broke.
You have a bit. I love that bit. It's just like, yeah. Hey, we're pounding up. Hey, you fucking single loser piece of shit. Give me a fork worth $100.
Yeah,
Give me a fork.
Seriously.
Give me that gravy boat.
My bigger part that annoys me about that. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I have friends watching it, so like, give me a fucking gift.
Sorry.
But it's more like the idea is you pay for your plate. But then it's hard because like they determine how fancy they want it, etc. and things like that. But I'm also torn. I think.
But also, if you're gonna throw a party, I don't like the idea of you pay for a plate because it's not very hospitable. To me, it's like the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do when you throw a party, which is you're like everyone's welcome. Like what you see is what you get. So enjoy it. You got music, you got some food, you got drinks, and if you don't like it, well, go pick up a 6-pack and bring it to the venue.
I'm like, I would have McDonald's on my plate if that's the situation. Like, I don't.
Because the party's like I want the booze.
No.
And I
Boycott
want
McDonald's,
and I want
but
the
yes.
speeches.
Yeah. True.
But I what was I going to say? I think it's just I wouldn't mind because it feels so non-friendly. Like giving gifts is really fun and when it's organic and nice. And like when we do like lower cost Christmas gifts that are like I did this calendar thing and it's like something that's personal as opposed to just like off a list. And literally with a registry when you're like buying this insane thing for like $200, I don't get any of the joy of giving a gift.
No, you're like, I got you these shams, and then like I'm trying to like get like the price point right, so I buy you 2 king size shams and then like one gravy boat or like 1 candlestick, like, and then they don't even have a set of candlesticks, like. Could
that be a good bit of just the idea of like if you're actually bringing that to a person you'd be insane.
No, seriously, that's actually very funny.
I got you a fork and 2 napkins.
No, when I was like 22, I went to my first wedding. It was like a former coworker, so she was a little bit older than me, and I like waited too long to get something off the registry.
And that's all that's left is the expensive things.
Yeah, and so I got her bedding, and I was like, hope you guys make a baby. And there's like, it felt so awkward and weird to be like, enjoy this bedding. Yeah. Like, it felt so impersonal.
I got you some sheets. And they're never going to remember who got them those sheets.
Of course.
They're just like, these are wedding sheets.
Maggie put a name on them.
Yeah. They're actually embroidered. And
like the nicest wedding gift is just cash.
100%.
That's what I started.
But that also feels impersonal.
It feels really impersonal.
Very impersonal, but it's just the most useful.
Yeah.
Everything else is just, I also like really judge people quite harshly on their registries. Like I'm just like, like the insane things people want, like a pewter tray that's like $450. I'm like, what are you going to fucking do with this tray?
Oh yeah. They're just like at a certain point like being like, I guess this.
Like I know you're going to snort coke off that tray. Why are we spending $400
Let me give you the
this?
cocaine.
Yeah. Let me, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's more personal. We connect over that.
I bought you half a bag of cocaine.
Yeah. It's like it's insane. I'm like you're not grown up because you have this.
Do they pick all the things?
Yeah,
or
they
do you
pick
do
the things.
Okay, so
yeah.
they go
So I guess you like if you'll go to Macy's and they'll give you like a scanner and you just walk through and you're just like I want this, I want this, I want this.
Yeah.
My friend did one. One I like doing. He had a bunch of like board games and stuff on there, which is really his vibe.
Cute.
And I got a bunch of those. I don't know that I liked.
Yeah,
it's
that
not
makes more
personal.
sense.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
But to your point, it's like you've never been this person in your life, and suddenly you're a person who has a $500 tray.
Right.
And it does feel weird. I also think now it's a bit outdated.
It's weird, yeah, because it used to be that people were starting their home together.
Exactly.
It's like, oh,
yeah.
we're both leaving our parents' house, and now we're gonna live in our big person house. So we need this tray because, of course, we're gonna have a tray, and our mom won't give us their tray. So,
But
now they all live together, and you can't fit all that shit in your
I feel
apartment
like, please
anyway.
don't get me anything physical.
No,
I literally don't have
exactly.
space.
I don't have space.
Yeah.
Get me counter space. If you can somehow get me counter space, I got you some
Can you pay my rent?
Yeah, that would be great. You can choose which month rent you want to pay.
Yeah,
Get together with some friends.
If we became friends in May, you can pick May. It'll be nice.
A
very
whole month?
personable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's going to be the direction that because people are getting poorer and poorer. Like, our money is not stretching. The city is so fucking expensive, and like that is people aren't looking towards luxury anymore. Like, I feel like even Gen Z, like the way they dress is like it's very like utilitarian. There's not like. It's
not cool to look like you spent all this money on your
yeah,
clothes.
No.
or to like
It's
look
very
like you.
casual.
Whereas our day it was like, look like you're a little smart biz cash.
Yeah.
Literally, why
Going
am I
to the
wearing a
club.
pencil skirt in the club?
Yeah. Genuinely.
As guys, like you need Ralph Lauren tops.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to know that, and 2 of them, 3, 4, pop your collars.
It's there's something about Gen Z is like it's embarrassing to try, so it like translates into the clothing. Like if you look like you put an outfit together, they're like,
Like or like that it wasn't secondhand, or it wasn't like
Everything's
Yeah.
gonna be
They're just
unique
like,
and
yeah.
yeah.
But the data, at least, I mean, you work in a similar field with like when they analyze Gen Z, they say they like experiences, not stuff. So they're going to be all about. And I think in general, like the wedding thing has gone so insane that I do think there's going to be massive pushback, and people will be like, you know what? Why can't we just go to a shed and like BYO, and then there'll be a whole swing of those.
Yeah.
We're all gonna go to the woods with our parents or with my parents and do mushrooms, and then
you're married.
Although
And then we're married,
the
yeah.
best wedding ever, David Drake's story. He's the comic, but he said at his wedding he's like everyone left around 11 p.m. All the old people left at like 11 p.m. and then he walked around with a bucket of Molly, and just gave it. And they said it was like that is
fun.
That is a great, so good future wedding idea for anyone who wants to.
Don't tell my boyfriend that.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
He's like, we should get married.
Yeah. He's like, wait a minute.
I've got this bucket of Molly I've been meaning to use.
That's such a good way to trick someone into proposing. It's like, I hear people doing this thing where they do cocaine and Molly when they get married. He's like, what?
He's like, excuse me? The flower girl just throws out little cocaine bags.
I love that.
Insane.
But only the bride can wear white.
Well, your first date was on a Molly night, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Oh, that's very cute.
Yeah.
That's like a that's a dangerous way to, because it's so connecting.
It you know what's funny is it actually turned me off to Molly because we had done it once before. I had a good experience, and then the second time we did it, when we like started hanging out like as a couple, whatever, and there were so many people there that I knew, and it was just so like, not that I was so anxious the next day that I was like, everybody knows we made out. What happens? Like, it's gonna be.
No.
I was so in my head that I haven't been able to do Molly since because the come down felt so bad.
That's shitty.
Yeah. So it was connecting, but it also could have broken us up. So and it didn't.
I mean, yeah, obviously the come down is I don't know. Maybe there's no biological way to fix that because it literally is what goes up comes down.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the first time I really didn't feel that bad. It was just the second time there's so many things in my head that I was like, oh God, I can't feel that way.
That
again.
anxiety sucks.
Yeah.
I haven't had that with Molly. I've had that with cocaine, but I've never. But that turned me off of cocaine as well. I'm like, I can't.
God,
I don't want to wake up the next day and spend the whole next day just being like, do people not like me?
Does everyone hate me? Yeah.
Am I a
Why
bad
am I crying?
dancer? Yeah.
Because I'm a bad dancer.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, but it's not.
It's not cocaine related. But
yeah. I wish that was my biggest anxiety when I came off of cocaine. It's just like, did I mamba weirdly?
No, you mamba'd well. You killed the guy.
Yeah. That's when you started saying the F slur.
everybody got really scared.
When Drew said that message, I was like, did I say?
No, I had that same thought. Isn't that the funniest? I think that means you're like a normal person who like cares how you come across to other people. But I really was like, did I say that and forget? Like it really like.
I need to watch my set because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that both of you guys, I didn't know that you guys both went back and watched your sets to see.
Truly, I was like...
Because it's so clear to me that it was not you.
Right, of course.
And it was not you.
I mean, Maggie drops an N-word every now and then, which is not going to...
But it's like it's so out of character. It's so like outside the scope of your comedy. It's so like
there's not a world.
Yeah, exactly. There's no world in which that happened unless you were literally having a stroke.
Well, that's what's so funny is like sometimes when I'm on stage, I'm so scared of like my crowd work turning into something negative that like sometimes I don't even do crowd work now because I'm spent so much time in my head be like, make sure you say partner and not like something that could offend someone. It's so nerve-wracking.
What sucks is like that attitude is so not conducive to getting a viral clip.
No.
Which is so frustrating. And I mean, not that that's the purpose of comedy and sucks. But it is annoying. Because I'll try to be respectful. And like last night I did the opposite. I had a show and I made a joke because there was two women and they described something and they were gay and it was obvious based on the stereotype. They were like, we're friends from kickball. I go, oh, so you guys are gay, and then they were. But it was kind of funny. But it was also like a swing.
Yeah. Of course.
As opposed to and partner's the other one. I have been like, oh, you two friends? Like, oh, we're married. I'm like, oh, I'm homophobic.
Especially like being like a tall white guy, they're immediately gonna be like, oh, this guy's homophobic. I get like a little more credit, but still being like.
So you have to automatically. Everybo's married.
Yeah.
You're just like, so you guys are married, and they're like, oh, this is my 10-year-old child.
Well,
You're
then it's the child thing as well, and like, and then it's funny. It's like, I hope that's it, Mum. I hope it's your dad. Hope it's your dad.
Really hoping.
Nope, that's my kid. I mean, that's my kid and lover.
That's my baby. And you're like, which one?
He's my daddy. That's not helping.
A little more clarity.
I think that is almost time. Where can people find you, Maggie?
Oh, that was so quick. Maggie Naughton on Instagram. And I think it's Maggie Naughton when the O is a 0 on TikTok. I got hacked. So I think that's my
Oh, we're hacked twins.
Really? You got hacked as well?
I got hacked on Instagram. You know that story? They posted the ISIS flag.
Oh, yeah.
And sucked. Now Julian Breheny is gone. The handle. And I was like, can I get that? Like, that handle's in use. I'm like, it is not in use. Okay? You deleted that account. I know because it's my account. It's like, sorry, it's in use. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.